I'm Jackie Wilhelm. I'm the Director of Children's Ministry at Crossroads Christian Church in St. Matthews. I am feeling so confident wearing my superhero shirt. In fact, this summer we're learning all about confidence. So, what's confidence? Confidence is learning to see yourself the way God sees you. Today's Bible story is a good old underdog story. It's about a man named Gideon. Gideon learned that God can use you no matter what. Let's find out more about Gideon. Today's Bible story can be found in the book of Judges, chapters 6 through 8. Judges, by the way, is the book right after Joshua, which is the book we learned about last week. My friend Gideon here was an Israelite, and well, at this point in God's people's story, the Israelites had turned away from God again. And so the Midianites had begun to take over, and well, people like Gideon were scared. The Israelites were busy hiding out in caves because, gosh, whenever they tried to do anything, the Midianites came up and destroyed it. Plant a crop, Midianites destroy it. Take care of your livestock, Midianites destroy them too. It was not a good scene. Finally, the Israelites got some sense and cried out to the Lord, and that's when God sent an angel to speak to Gideon. Where did that angel find Gideon? Hiding in a wine press, trying to turn his wheat into something that his family could use. That didn't stop our angel, though, from giving Gideon this greeting. "Mighty warrior, the Lord is with you." Gideon, however, he wasn't so sure. "But sir," Gideon replied, "you say the Lord is with us. Then why has all this happened to us? Where are all the wonderful things God has done? Our parents told us about them. They said, 'Didn't the Lord bring us out of Egypt?' But now the Lord has deserted us. He has handed us over to Midian." The angel of the Lord turned to Gideon. He said to him, "You are strong. Go and save Israel from the power of Midian. I am sending you." All of this seemed pretty impossible to Gideon, and he said so. "But Lord," Gideon asked, "how can I possibly save Israel? My family group is the weakest in the tribe of Manasseh, and I'm the least important member of my family." With that, the Lord promised to be with Gideon, but, well, Gideon needed some reassuring. Gideon asked for a sign, so the Lord sent fire to burn up some meat and bread. When the Midianites and Amalekites decided to attack, even while Gideon blew his trumpet and was gathering his people so they could fight back, Gideon was also desperate for another sign. Gideon asked God for dew to fall only on this wool fleece and not on the ground around it. And once God had done that, Gideon asked God to make sure that the dew fell on the ground around the fleece, but, well, not the fleece this time. God came through, so Gideon and 32,000 Israelites were preparing for battle. But God had some things he wanted to change first. Listen to this. The Lord spoke to Gideon. He said, "I want to hand Midian over to you, but you have too many men for me to do that. I do not want Israel to brag that their own strength has saved them. So here is what I want you to announce to your men. Tell them, those who tremble with fear can turn back. They can leave Mount Gilead." So 22,000 men left. They left. Gideon only had 10,000 men to go into battle with. That's a little scary. God wasn't finished doing math. God said, "Tell you what, that's still too many people. Let's try this." God told Gideon to take the men down to the water and dismiss those who got down on their knees to drink. Even though it would have worried Gideon to lose still more of his army, he did what God said. And only about 300 men brought the water up to their mouths to drink. The rest of them got down low. You know, it might have rattled Gideon's confidence to send so many people away, but Gideon did what God said. And when everything was said and done, Gideon had 300 people to help him face the Amalekites and the Midianites. It's not very many. Yikes. That night, God spoke to Gideon again. This time, he sent him down to the Midianite camp and said, "Go ahead, listen to what they're saying. Gideon arrived just as a man was telling a friend about his dream. "I had a dream," he was saying. "A round loaf of barley bread came rolling into the camp of Midian. It hit a tent with great force. The tent turned over and fell down flat." His friend replied, "That can only be the sword of Gideon, the son of Joash. Gideon is from Israel. God has handed the Midianites over to him. He has given him the whole camp." So Gideon overheard just how scared the Midianites were of him, and well, I guess that kind of boosted his confidence a little bit. So remember, it was night. So Gideon called his 300 men together. He gave them all a trumpet, which I don't have, so I'm just going to pretend. But they didn't use them just yet, okay? Then he gave them a torch, something I also don't have, but I do have a flashlight, and a clay jar. I guess maybe my vase will do. So they put the torch inside the clay jar so that the enemy wouldn't see them coming. And they surrounded the camp. And on Gideon's orders, they broke the jars, sounded the trumpet, and the Midianites were so scared because it looked like they were surrounded. They were so scared and so confused that they beat each other up, and the Israelites didn't have to do a thing. The Israelites were so thrilled, they begged Gideon to rule over them, but Gideon said, I don't think so. You and I both know that God is in charge, and God won that battle for us. Gideon definitely learned that this month's memory verse is true. Here is something I am still sure of. I will see the Lord's goodness while I'm still alive. Psalm 27:13. You know, I need to be more like Gideon. I need to rely less on my own superpowers, which, if I'm being honest, don't really exist, and more on God's power, because that's how Gideon, who was such an underdog, became the hero of a very big story. Gideon learned that God can use you no matter what. And you know what? I can't wait to find out what else there is to learn about our great God with you again next week. Goodbye.